celebrate Back to Manly Day and pay tribute to our former coaches, players, volunteers, managers, parents and officials who have helped build Cromer Park and Manly United into what we all enjoy today. Forming a guard of honour for today's teams are players from yesteryear, including members of our first championship team back in 1968. So please put your hands together for our former players as we welcome the teams onto the field for today's match and then join them for a drink in the clubhouse on the eastern side of the ground later. Welcome to the ground, ladies and gentlemen, Wollongong and Manly United Football Club.
Good afternoon and welcome to Cromer Park for this round 12 National Premier League's New South Wales men's clash between Manly United and your top of the table Wollongong Wolves. My name is Nate Patrick and it's my pleasure to be here for this afternoon's action. It is a lovely sunny Sunday afternoon and what a clash we have in store. Manly United at home, showing some good form, coming off such a strong 3-0 win last week against Wollongong Wolves. Top of the table, only suffered their first loss of the season a few weeks ago. And of course, they've just had that FFA Cup scare midweek against Pittwater. Manager Luke Wilkshire saying he did rest a few players. In the end, had to bring quite a few of them on to get that result. And now, of course, attention turns to this competition. Manly United and Wollongong Wolves. The home team in their all-blue kit. Wollongong Wolves in their change strip this evening in white. Gallagher under pressure early. If you're a Manly supporter, you will be very excited by the start and form of Charles Mendy, the man on the ball now. Really grew into that game and then, of course, got himself onto the score sheet. He retains his starting place, taking a bit of pressure off the likes of Adam Parkhouse, Chalakian, Pendurovic too. And if you're a Wolves supporter, you'll be talking all about Takao Okada, who, while looking stunning in every single match he's played, finally got himself the goals he deserved last week. Not an easy trek against Marconi Stallions. And it is the Wolves who have this early opportunity. Swung in deep, comfortable for Dylan Mitchell. We are, of course, now halfway through the season. That table really starting to take shape. Wollongong, 3 points clear up top. Manly United into that coveted top 5 position. Wollongong Wolves' title ambitions are clear. The question is, do Manly United believe they can match it up there with them? Mitchell to his captain Gallagher, racing forward. Ball inside for Ferguson with a fresh trim. Kieran Paul towards Mendy, well read though. Chris Price right on the money. Fox forced backwards to Orchard. Orchard over the top, searching for Pendurovic. The ball holding up a little bit. Pendurovic able to get his team the corner. The crowd still building here on the northern beaches. Plenty of travelling fans. And of course, the Manly locals loving what they're seeing from their team. This is Parkhouse swinging the ball in. Header on towards Mendy, aiming at the back stick. It goes just over the crossbar. An early sighter for the home team. Passfield to Littler, the ball coming back. We go again. Nick Littler. Long ball forward. Header not quite good enough from Wilson. Thomas James. We'll talk about him this afternoon, that's for sure. Passing it back. Good pressure this from Manly. To their credit, the Wolves able to play themselves out of trouble. Ball over the top now to Thomas James. Travis Orchard reading it first, getting it clear. We'll start our way being a bit harsh with Thomas James and work our way up to the usual adulation. He is scoreless in his last 2 matches now, which is as much of a criticism as I could muster. He has, of course, been absolutely superb. A-League clubs, no doubt, looking to see if they can fit him into a visa spot for their team. So good has his form been. His tireless running is a characteristic. Torsey back to Littler, the big ball over the top. Paul's underneath it, handles it very well. Bit of a hospital pass return. Paul this time says anywhere will do. Wasn't very happy with the ball to him. Played from Orchard. Wolves looking to run this out. Forced to go wide. Taylor McDonald down the line. Thomas James, very clever, letting it run through his legs. Back heel inside. Fortunately for his team. The attack breaks down. Bit of a tussle here. Kieran Paul claims of being held, heated by the referee. Back and across we go. Gallagher forward. Ferguson and Fox will look to hold that midfield down. Long afternoon ahead for them, one thinks. Pendurovic. Well won by Okada initially. Now Kieran Paul. Looking for Mendy. Mendy has Parkhouse at the back stick, but we all know Charles Mendy loves to take a player on. Gets into the middle. Bounces around before the Wolves manage to get it clear. Falls kindly for James, but well done. Draws some applause there. Sam Wilson. James, normally a central striker, but Luke Wilkshire doesn't mind his players interchanging positions. That's why you see James on this right-hand side early on. Lachlan Scott finds himself on the bench. His replacement this afternoon, Bull Jouak. Another player coming from Capital Football. His journey didn't start there, however. He is a Sudanese refugee. Spent his early life in a Kenyan refugee camp before coming to Australia at the age of 12. Found out he was quite good at running, but then decided he enjoyed football a bit more. Now finds himself here at Cromer Park. His team top of the table. Lovely little story. Wollongong trying to push down this left-hand side. Jordovic inside. Lovely first touch, Okada. Okada still going here. Eventually, Manly do get it clear. Heavy touch where Red Tossi gets a little drag back from Chalakian. Quickly ducks his head to try and get out of the way of the referee's attention. Tossi taking it quickly. Littler coming forward. Well intercepted, lovely feet there, Ferguson, Chalakian. Closed down extremely well though by the Wolves. Guy Knight right on that one immediately. Jordovic back to Passfield. Torsi. Looking for Jouak. Well handled. Gallagher manages to get it out just to throw in. McDonald with the cannon of a throw, you have to say. Means Guy Knight couldn't really control it. Eventually the long shot from Torsi falling kindly to Dylan Mitchell. Gallagher racing forward. Under pressure from Jouak. Parkhouse, the first time ball around the corner. Not read particularly well by Sam Wilson. Parkhouse, though, seems the one most unhappy. Anywhere will do for the Wolves. Okada under that one. So is Kieran Paul. Some excellent one-on-one battles all around this pitch. Perhaps most notably, these wide midfielders from both teams love to get forward, love to make darting runs inside. Then in turn, going to have to defend against the opposing wide midfielders who will have the energy in the tank to get the job done. Okada inside to Thomas James. Parkhouse playing him very close attention. Knight back it across to Nick Littler. Torsey has McDonald to his right, plays that ball now. Falls kindly for McDonald. And he decides to do what fullbacks love to do, the big switch. This ball diagonally into the area. Wilson underneath Chalakian. And just a little bit of an up and under. If we can steal a term from another code. Wollongong are happy to play it back. Okada around the corner. If you're a centre-back that loves to play some football, surely you're loving playing under Luke Wilkshire. Loves his centre-backs to get on the ball, play it out, start the attack. And pull off switches just like that. That ball forward not good enough. Well intercepted. Joe Fox to Paul. Paul finds Pandurovic under a lot of pressure, doing extremely well. It's more of a wide midfielder than a number 9. Finds himself in that role again this afternoon, just as he did last week. He was the provider for Adam Parkhouse's goal last week after some similarly brilliant hold-up play. Head on over to the Football New South Wales socials, to their YouTube channel, if you'd like to see full match replays and or highlights of every single game. This ball forward. Called offside. Linesman is in the perfect position. Bourgeois maybe half a yard offside. Dylan Mitchell towards Pandurovic, wins it well. Mendy perhaps a tad slow to react. Chris Price putting it out of play. Mendy inside, looking for Chalakian, but it's Okada who wins out. Before a rather crude challenge from Ferguson. He's going to get away with that one at this stage. Dare say, as this game progresses, that won't be the case. McDonald. Looking for Thomas James, unable to find him. Chalakian now, his first real involvement in this game. Back to Ferguson. Out to Orchard. Talk about centre-backs liking to play it out from the back. Paul D's got his side doing plenty of that this season too. That pairing of Gallagher and Orchard, one of the best in this league. Indeed, Manly have just conceded the 12 goals all season. Equal second best. This ball spread across perfectly for Wilson. He wants to head it down the line. Parkhouse wanted it short. Orchard to Ferguson, to Gallagher, to Fox. Well handled under some slight pressure. Callahan getting a slight touch on that one. Then Torsey does brilliantly well. Thomas James. Out to that man, Callahan. Harry Callahan racing into the area. Ball inside. Thomas James is unmarked here. Dylan Mitchell's done so well. Gets a leg out to stop that attempt. No one marking Thomas James whatsoever. Almost unfathomable. And yet, Dylan Mitchell wins that one-on-one contest. And now it's Mendy racing against his opponents. The crowd loving everything Mendy does run out of real estate and eventually turns it over. I'm still slightly bewildered that Thomas James had so much space. Maybe if that's earlier on in the season, TJ puts that one away. Not to be just yet. Big wake-up call for the home team. Paul back to his centre back. Manly happy to play it out from the back. Now looking for Pendurovic forward. Well read though. Jordovic. Perfectly placed. Bit of miscommunication from Manly teammates. Fox putting it out of play. Mendy winning the throw for his side. Parkhouse is in acres of space on the left. His team don't have it though. He's going to have to come infield. Racing away is Harry Callahan. He's the one that showed a clean set of heels in that last chance. Okada playing it wide to James, a slight miscontrol. He's unable to keep it in play. Littler paying Pendurovic enough attention to warrant the free kick. Orchard staring into that sun, the slight miscontrol. All good for now. Ferguson passes it back to him. Mendy, slightly inside. Turns in a circle and passes it back. Now, Parkhouse is free and will get the ball. Adam Parkhouse. We know he loves to run at his defenders. Tossie, the last player to get a touch on there, he knows that. And it will be a Manly United corner. Chalakian to take the in-swinger. Decent delivery, flicked on. It evaded Pendurovic. Kieran Paul coming across to take the throw. Pendurovic. Lovely footwork. Gets it to Paul. Mendy. Pendurovic. There's nowhere really to go at the moment. Looks for the ball inside. The run of Fox is blocked off. Passfield just rolling it out to Nick Littler. Now to Taylor McDonald. Callahan, well read by Gallagher. Wilson sliding, does well to hold on to it. Ferguson, Chalakian, gets a little nudge in the back. Guy Knight pointing at the football. If he did get the ball, it was an afterthought. Any challenge from behind these days, always noticed by the referee. Brendan Chalakian. Decent delivery, well headed away. Straight to Juak, then Callahan. Great tackle by Chalakian. Before Orchard coming in from behind this time. Taken quickly though. Referee going to bring it back. Proper footballing challenge from Brendan Shalakian. Just because he's the attacking midfielder in this side doesn't mean he's not going to get stuck in on occasion. Ball down the line. Inside, McDonald. Jouak losing that football. Wollongong Wolves must be loving capital football. Becoming a little bit of a talent pool for them. First TJ, now Bull. Just as it is in any league, scouting extremely important for now. It's Manly United on the attack. Penderovic's ball over the top, but Shalakian doesn't give up on anything. Well marked though, the ball goes out of play. Shalakian will not be stopped. He gets the hands involved to push off Tossi. He seemed to think it was a fair challenge. Referee says not so. A few of the home supporters also not too heavy. Passfield. Out to Nick Littler. Only really that one noticeable chance in the game so far. Thomas James brilliantly denied by Dylan Mitchell. Here's that man now, James Okada. First timer over the top. Gallagher all the way onto the roof. New ball, please. Into the area here, Thomas James has half a yard! And that's all he needs, Thomas James. Powers it into the back of the net. Worked himself a little bit of space. Shifted it onto his right-hand side. Emphatic finish. And that makes it 1-0 to Wollongong Wolves.
Goal to Wollongong. Goal scorer is number 9, Thomas James. Score is Wollongong Wolves 1,
Manly got their alarm earlier on, around that 15th minute, when Thomas James ran through on goal. Denied that time. Not this time. Don't know if it's part of the game plan to be giving Thomas James some space when he has possession. Dare say it's not working out too well for Paulie's side just yet. Wilson inside to Penderovic. Heavy touch from him. Ball falls to Jouak. James. Goal scorer turns provider potentially. A little too heavy. Comfortable for Mitchell. Mendy comes short to receive the football. Plays it inside to Ferguson. Ferguson to Wilson. Now Parkhouse. Decides the early delivery is the best option. Littler away. Wilson wants the 1-2 with Parkhouse. Parkhouse wanting to go himself. Littler down the line to James. James with the arm. Don't need to tell you what the home side think of that. Not to mention the support. Shalakian to Wilson. Wilson inside, well to Penderovic, who again can't get it under control. Price doing very well to get it clear. Does go back to Manly. Orchard. 1-2 with Paul. Not a lot of movement off the ball at the moment for Manly. That's when they play this long ball over the top. Challenge. It's just going to be a corner. Price wanting the ball the most. Did take the man with him. They've had a few set pieces early on in this one, have Manly United. If you've been following them this season, you know they love the in-swinging delivery. They will have a player come all the way across the field just to make it so. And as such, Adam Parkhouse. To the front post, Pendurovic acrobatically, not really going anywhere. Ferguson in space. Wolves doing extremely well to get out of there. Duac to Okada, and there's running. Callahan wide is probably the best option. Okada hasn't seen him. Thomas James. This way and that before hitting it across the face. Okada just didn't see Callahan making that run. Here is Callahan. Youngster probably deserves a few more of the plaudits this season. The big names of Takalu Okada. Thomas James will rightly dominate headlines, but Harry Callahan is doing his fair share of the work. At his best when he's driving at defences. Very confident on the football. Manly take that throw quickly, but their teammates not on the same wavelength at the moment. Chalakian from behind commits the foul on Guy Knight. Turnover here, Fox. The early counter-attack. He's looking for Mendy. Well read, though. Jordovic, as always, ever alert. Guy Knight to Okada. Clever ball over the top. Read well by Fox initially before it breaks down. Knight happy to go backwards. Searching ball to this right-hand side, finds McDonald very well. In turn, the diagonal. Paul getting there first. He had Okada behind him. Couldn't take the chance of leaving the football. This time it will be a Wollongong corner. Blessed to have a few Team of the Week players here with us. 2 from Manly. This, of course, being from round 11, Charles Mendy and Adam Parkhouse alongside Okada, who had that double. Here is Okada to the edge of the area. Parkhouse is the one who reads it the best, however. Parkhouse racing away. He wants support. He's looking for Mendy. Mendy was never ahead of his player. Could Mendy perhaps have gone a little harder, or should have Parkhouse held on to the ball a little longer? As mentioned, so good on the counter-attack last week. Maybe you just have to credit the Wolves' defence for getting back. Ball down the line to McDonald. Wilson getting there ahead of his man. Littler again all over Pendurovic. Charles Mendy on this right-hand side. Whips it only as far as Jordovic. Thomas James raising the hands again. Very good defending there. Chris Price in that left-back position. against the goal scorer last week, Mendy. Littler again forward. Lovely first touch from Bull. Didn't have his head up to read the reply, though, from McDonald. Pendurovic again. Hands all over him, Pendurovic. Referee just waiting to see if Manly would advance. It's not to be. The man with the ponytails, Pendurovic and Tossi, getting into a bit of a tussle. Here is Wilson. Sam Wilson inside to Chalakian, who more or less catches it. Referee, maybe not in the best position. Play advances only for a little bit. My apologies if I'm incorrect. It looked exactly like Chalakian just grabbed onto it. Maybe he chested it with perfect control. In the meantime, Okada racing into the area. Takaru Okada can only get it as far as Dylan Mitchell. Orchard, the ball over the top is looking for Pendurovic. Jordovic not taking any chances. Does find Okada. Clever little header inside. Wolves keeping this one alive. Only as far as Mendy now. Mendy evading the challenge. A few step overs from Mendy. Chalakian, you know he's going to want his right foot. Here is Chalakian. Well closed down. Parkhouse in space on the left-hand side. Parkhouse well closed down by Taylor McDonald. Yet another corner for Manly United. Brendan Chalakian to take this corner. Towards the back post. Well over Adam Parkhouse. In fact, out for a throw-in. That earlier goal for Wollongong Wolves is their 26th of the season, making them easily the outright leading goal scorers in the NPL New South Wales. They do still have the meanest defence as well. Only the 11 goals conceded. Really has been total football from Luke Wilkshire's side at times. Still a lot of the season left to play. Foul from Paul on Okada. You may have spotted Luke Wilkshire on the Fox Football Roundtable talking about A-League coaching positions. It was a very firm, I'm happy managing Wollongong Wolves comment from Luke Wilkshire. Why wouldn't he be? Former son returning. His side's going to need to do some defending here, however. Pendurovic to the edge of the area. Mendy wants it on his right foot. Mendy's shot is scuffed. Goes for a goal kick. Wilson back inside is dangerous with Bull lurking. Orchard wants to go back to his goalkeeper. Mitchell doing enough. Gets it clear in the end, under pressure from Juach. Okada, no looker inside. Juach unable to read his partner's intentions. Wilson down the line for Parkhouse. Referee's going to raise his flag. It did look like Parkhouse was just a step past that defensive line. You don't like to say it, but Parkhouse has been caught offside a few times this season. There's no doubting the man's quality, his ability. But as we saw with that misplaced pass on the counter-attack earlier, maybe just not always on the same wavelength as his teammates. His ex-A-League professional Passfield taking the goal kick. What a kick it was. Paul tidying up Mendy, playing it inside. Fox. Ferguson decides to take a touch. Does extremely well. Back to Mendy. Chalakian makes his run forward. Manly wants to play it out to the left. For now it's Fox. Now Parkhouse. What can he do this time? Parkhouse on that favoured left foot. The dink crossed to the back stick. Even if it was a dink, it was still a little heavy. Mendy recovers. Manly retain the football. Paul playing that ball without getting his head up. Turns it over not once but twice. This is what I was mentioning earlier. Okada loves to run inside, starting from that wider position. Plays it out to Thomas James. Got McDonald on the overlap. McDonald still going. Delivery over the head of Juach. Eventually cleared by Paul. Okada. That's a Callahan. Callahan just wants the corner. It's not going to come, friend. Mendy. Luke Wilkshire not very happy with his attacker, just waiting for that ball to roll out of play. As we can all see, it didn't. Pendurovic. Jurdovic winning that header, claiming it came off Pendurovic. Linesman, after some slight deliberation, agreeing with him. McDonald in space on this right-hand side. If Littler wants him, he does. Taylor McDonald first time into Thomas James, well met by Sam Wilson. Taylor McDonald will take this throw in again. Didn't like going down the line the first time. Decides instead to go inside. Guy Knight. Playing as a holding midfielder under a little bit of pressure back to Jurdovic. Manly are staying nice and compact in defence, to their credit. They've seen what the Wolves can do on the break. Keeping their line of midfield and defence nice and tight, at least on this occasion. Gallagher to Wilson. A little bit of a tug back from Callahan. Referee plays the advantage. Mendy has Paul on the overlap. Doesn't want him. Crowd love the little flicks and tricks from Charles Mendy. Ferguson spreads it to Parkhouse, has Wilson on the overlap. Parkhouse wants to deliver it himself. Maybe should have used the run. Callaghan trying to get through 3, unable to do so. Chalakian always wants to go on that right foot if possible. Perhaps would have been smarter to go to Parkhouse. He is the only player for Manly. Looks to be in any space whatsoever. Gallagher's seen him. Parkhouse cleverly darting inside, opening the space for Wilson. His delivery not fantastic, headed away by McDonald. It's a very tense atmosphere here at Cromer Park. Can Manly United find their way back into this game? Chalakian inside Pendurovic. That header always rising out for a goal kick. Justin Passfield taking his time with the restart. Chalakian coming up to pressure Littler, meaning this goal kick will go long. Parkhouse winning that very well. Tossi has Chalakian in behind. Chalakian wants to keep it in play, despite his intentions of taking that throw in. It is a Wollongong Wolves throw. Taylor McDonald. We know he's got some big arms on him. Maybe it would have been best just to throw that long. Meanwhile, Jordovic back to his goalkeeper. Manly United playing with their standard now 4-2-3-1. At times, Chalakian will leap forward to try and pressure the defence. May need to do so all the more with his side being 1-0 behind. The Wolves, no doubt, more than happy just to play it around at the back if required. Okada tries the clever flick. Does in fact get his side at the corner. Okada will be the taker. So the big bodies for the Wolves come forward. Jordovic, Littler, McDonald. It's played short, however, to Thomas James. Then Okada straight back in. Well defended. Straight back out. Thomas James absolutely smacking it as the referee. As you have kindly heard from the ground announcer, fourth official signalling 1 minute of additional time. Only stoppage to speak of, really, the aftermath of that goal to Thomas James. Can Manly United use these 60 seconds? Create a very different team talk from Paul D. When these sides met to open the season, it did finish 2-1 down in Wollongong to the Wolves. Gallagher belting it in from 40 yards. There's one memory I have from that day, the other being Thomas James announcing his ambitions to the NPL New South Wales from Capital Football. To end the first stanza of this gripping contest, It is just the one goal separating these sides in the 15th minute. Dylan Mitchell doing so well to save against Thomas James. Thomas James would not be denied at the second time of asking. A lovely turn and finish to get his goal. And it is that goal that separates these sides at the break. It is Manly United 0. Wollongong Wolves 1.
And we also have beer, wine and soft drink available in the clubhouse on the far side of the field. And at the northern end of the ground, we have piping hot pizza from Lucky Luciano's. Go and enjoy some great halftime pizza.
Welcome back to the second half of action here at Cromer Park. Manly United versus Wollongong Wolves. Is the away side that find themselves up 1-0 thanks to a Thomas James goal. We've seen a few of those this season. That came in the 24th minute. Will Wollongong add to their tally, or is there a way back into this contest for Manly United? Bendurovic, very clever footwork to get to Paul. Paul racing inside. Looking for Chalakian, cannot find him. Ferguson doing very well to win the ball. The referee only would have seen him sliding in. Decides to pay the free kick. Littler across to Jordovic. Ball down the line, read best by Orchard. Ball towards Pendurovic. Heavy challenge. Manly hold on to the football for now. Mendy. Ball inside. Ferguson with a miscontrol. Counter-attack potentially here for the Wolves. TJ with the first touch. Callaghan with a second. And here's Callaghan still going in. Callaghan inside the area. The cutback intercepted by Gallagher. And out we go. Gallagher racing forward to the feet of Chalakian. Chalakian looking for Mendy, unable to find him. Well read by Chris Price. Quite tall fullbacks for Wollongong Wolves. Okada to Djuak. Eventually, the long ball comes out. Orchard. Back to Mitchell. Mitchell was looking for the out ball to Sam Wilson. Can't find it. McDonald under pressure. Chalakian commits the foul. So we see that shade come across Cromer Park these Sunday afternoon kickoffs. That far side of the ground comes a lot more manageable for goalkeepers particularly. Mendy tries to go past Okada. Okada just got his body in the way. And then starts the attack. Well, intercepted Ferguson. Luke Wiltshire likes that pressure from his team, forcing Manly all the way back. Parkhouse on the left-hand side. Looking to find the feet of Pendurovic, a very difficult task. The shot from distance. Well wide from Fox, who decided to pull the trigger. Passfield to Callaghan, heads it back inside cleverly for Torsi. Fox unable to direct his header towards a teammate. Away from Paul. Ferguson inside, no one reading it, well closed down. The second time of asking from Wilson. Here is Mendy. A lot of supporters here in the stands. Mendy almost found Pendurovic, well intercepted though from Žoldovic. Clever footwork from Okada to collect a foul for his side. Passfield looking for James. James the flick header towards two teammates who are really getting in each other's way. That's why they don't hold on to the football. Fox in turn, unable to hold on to it. Wollongong trying to go down this right-hand side. Held up well, though. Young Sam Wilson has really made himself a mainstay of this side. Perhaps noteworthy, Adam Parkhouse is looking to break through this line a little more. We've already seen these Manly United attacks. Parkhouse would often come short to collect. This time he's playing up top. That shot from Okada, always swerving wide off the boot. Dylan Mitchell putting in the dive for show. You can't see it just at the moment, but Adam Parkhouse really playing as a left winger now, more than a left midfielder. Trying to break through. Ferguson driving forward. Ball at the outside of the foot, finds Mendy. Mendy to Paul. Paul back across the face. Dangerous. Pendurovic was just behind him. No one else trying to attack it. We are going to see the first substitution. It's going to come from Wollongong with Bull Druck coming off. Lachlan Scott coming on.
Substitution for Wollongong Wolves FC coming off the field is number 17, Bull Druck. He's replaced by number 24, Lachlan Scott.
Druck perhaps not having the effect his manager would have hoped for. Not a poor performance by any means. But as talked about in that first half, let's hold that thought for a moment because Thomas James has the ball. A turnover from Dylan Mitchell. James inside. What a save though from Mitchell. No, it's not. At the second time, Lachlan Scott will claim and indeed receive that goal. It was a stunning first effort from Dylan Mitchell. Did not have the firm enough hand to keep it out of his net. Lachlan Scott, that's probably his first touch from coming onto the pitch. Just like that, it's 2-0 to the top of the table, Wollongong Wolves. Let's call it an inspired substitution from Luke Wilkshire, who has a big smile on his face right now. Are we going to see a response from the home side? Perhaps a substitution or two from Manly manager Paul D. Believe I was just about to talk about perhaps Wollongong going to fatigue as this match progressed with that FFA Cup game. Did test Luke Wilkshire's side mentally and physically. Now with the buffer of that second goal, perhaps Wollongong really can take it easy. Chalakian under pressure from two players. Clever dummy from Price. Wollongong free kick. Knight getting up well. Mendy winning that header well, and then Chalakian bundled over from Guy Knight. We've seen that 2 or 3 times. Referee yet to go to his notebook. Produce a card. Paul forward looking for Chalakian, not to be. Penderovic with a little shove in the back, it's enough for Torsi to go over. Fully expect to see these type of antics from Wollongong Wolves. 2-0 up away from home. Time is on their side. Thomas James somehow got that touch off the heel. Wilson doing better the second time. Parkhouse with a few to beat, unable to beat them. Well defended, particularly Taylor McDonald. Well, one Gallagher. Chalakian. Wanting Mendy to attack it. Mendy was just holding off slightly. Fox a good header forward. Well defended Jordovic. Getting a little bit scrappy now. Guy Knight, the shanked clearance. Taylor McDonald forced to get it out of play. Adam Parkhouse lurking dangerously. Penderovic swinging it. The clearance from Jordovic. A little askew. May have even been Guy Knight getting back there. Another corner for Manly. This would be, I believe, their 8th of the game perhaps. Whatever the exact number, there's been enough opportunities. They should feel one of them could have been taken. Only Paul and Wilson staying back. Ball swung in. Chalakian has the ball, unable to get it out of his feet. Paul beating Thomas James to the ball, stopping any potential counter-attack. Manly forced to go back. Well defended from Wollongong. Get that defence very narrow when the ball's on one side of the pitch. Really choking the area. Ferguson. Running forward with the ball. Plays it out to Paul. Paul inside, drawing the foul from Okada. And there's a yellow card for dissent from Torsi. We've seen him talking to the referee a few times. The ref clearly had enough. Unnecessary, one might think. Parkhouse. Lovely shape delivery. Passfield reads it better than anyone else. Opts for the long throw to Callaghan. Callaghan has Ferguson nipping at his heels. Thomas James was coming forward, not that far forward. Parkhouse double teamed. The ball over the top, may well hold up. Littler getting there first. And just headed back into the danger, really. Ferguson. Goes back to Gallagher, looking for the switch to Mendy. Perfectly weighted pass to Mendy. Mendy just wants to swing it in to the mixer. All he can do is get the throw in. Well defended by Chris Price. Throw to feet, Chalakian. Mendy to Paul. Makata gives him no room to play with. Lachlan Scott throwing his body around Mendy. Scott getting there ahead of Mendy, leaving Mendy with an awkward looking air swing. Scott's pass forward, unable to find Thomas James. Well read Orchard. Lovely footwork from Fox. Bandurovic. Out to Wilson. This is better from Manly. Bit more intensity, bit more pace in their passing. Parkhouse. Across the face! Going towards goal, but it's cleared off the line from Nikola Jordovic. Looked like it was about to dribble over. Credit to the number 4. Stationed perfectly. Ferguson wide to Wilson. Wilson, decent looking delivery. Chalakian was coming in. It evaded him. Mendy not alert to the second opportunity. It means it's just a goal kick. Wouldn't mind seeing Sam Wilson crossing the ball a bit more if he's going to have a delivery of that quality. Right in between the gap between fullback and centre back. Chalakian just couldn't get there in time as Paul D goes to his bench for a double change. See if I can beat the ground announcer this time. Fox off, Mendy off, Balderson and McDonald on. Think I've pipped him. Can those changes do something for Manly? Bandurovic still going, levelly footwork, finds Balderson. Balderson's first touch, straight into Price. Balderson into the area, Balderson still going. Slips over in the area. He and Price have a little bit of a laugh.
Number 12, Charles Mendy, and number 6, Jim Fox. They're replaced by number 13, Scott Balderson, number 23, Brandon McDonald.
What that means for the shape of Manly, Balderson will play up top. Bandurovic will drop to his more favoured right midfield position. McDonald is a like-for-like change with Fox, but without trying to discredit one Joe Fox too much. Dare say Bradley McDonald offering a bit more creativity, a bit more of an attacking force from that midfield area. Price. Headed inward from Scott. Torsey. Out wide to Thomas James, who knew where that ball was going before it was even passed. James, taking on Wilson, plays it to the top of the area, eventually cleared by Orchard. Parkhouse controls it well. Orchard continued his run forward with his momentum from that defending. Now Bandurovic. Bandurovic, very well to get past Callahan. Lovely inside ball. Well tackled, Torsey. And then Torsey sticks a leg out and then shoved over his Balderson. Torsey's getting into everything here. The referee didn't call the first challenge, did call the second. Not sure if he was unsighted or just didn't believe it warranted a free kick, but Torsey better be careful. Bandurovic. Inside for Balderson. Balderson taking on Jordovic. Callahan eventually away. 3 Manly players under it. Ferguson to Parkhouse. Parkhouse fends off the challenge. It's still Adam Parkhouse. Drags that shot wide of the near post. Passfield will enjoy taking his time with the restart. Delivery from Passfield straight out of play for a throw-in. Paul coming to take that now. Balderson. Ferguson first time to Wilson. Manly have had the fair share of possession. Wollongong a lot more effective with the ball they've had. Parkhouse trying to dribble down the line, runs it out of play. Bendurovic out to Paul. Not a lot of width available for Manly at this time. So McDonald carries it through the centre. Bendurovic, not liking his options, goes back to McDonald. Balderson's in space in this attacking midfield spot, not used. Now Chalakian will drop into that hole. McDonald instead tries the big switch. Very ambitious attempt. Bendurovic collects the ball, returns it towards Passfield. 2/3 of a way through this contest. It is, of course, 2-0 to Wollongong. Goal for them in the first half, Thomas James. Followed by Lachlan Scott. Dylan Mitchell with a hand to Scott's effort, but not strong enough. Eventually landing in the goal after a few bounces. Can Wollongong gets a third here? It is Scott. Now Callaghan. The front four looking to link up. Callaghan has to go back. It's going to go across to Chris Price. Price to Thomas James. James on Okada. Okada doesn't use him. Goes himself and now wide to Price. Offside was Price when he looked for that return ball. Chalakian hitting it out of the hands of Okada, trying to get this play restarted. As a goalkeeper myself, you do feel for Dylan Mitchell. Yet when watching the video replay, or maybe feel like he needed to get a stronger hand to it. Reacted very well. Not well enough to keep that deficit at 1-0. Now his side need 2 goals just to get level. Bendurovic. Lovely footwork again, Bendurovic. Ball retention from Dejan. Brilliant. Look at him go again, spinning on a dime. McDonald back to Bendurovic. Bendurovic wide to Paul. The pass from Bendurovic underhit slightly. Paul was claiming a corner kick. Price doesn't think though. Referee, most importantly, makes the decision. Corner kick that Adam Parkhouse races over to take. We have to be close to double digits for corners for the home team. They have not been able to profit from any of them. Ball near post, flicked on. What a save, Passfield. Gallagher it was, racing near post. Justin Passfield tipping it over his bar. Excellent. Bertley, goodness gracious me. That happened within a blink of an eye. Adam Parkhouse again. Chalakian, header back inside. Balderson up, can't get there. Gallagher! Excuse his volley wide of the post. Scored, of course, against Wollongong in that opener. As impressive as that goal would have been, his goal in round 1. One of the best we've seen this season, belting it in from 40 yards. There's going to be a change for Wollongong. Callaghan coming off. Previous goal scorer, Darcy Madden, taking the field. Wilkshire putting an arm around his young attacking midfielder. Before a little friendly shove in the back. Like to see that rapport with manager and player. McDonald, back to Ferguson. Adam Parkhouse. Not sure who he was looking for, perhaps Chalakian. Ferguson collected after that from Scott. Referee, once again, we assume paying that advantage. Paul, back to Orchard. Alderson switch looking for Pandurovic. Header up from Price. Finds Pandurovic. Pandurevic's shot skews off his boots as he slips over and wonders what may have been. First time ball intercepted by Paul. It is Wollongong on a rare opportunity coming forward in this second half. Okada wants the run of Price. Price has that ball now. Back to Okada. Takau Okada. Lovely dink ball. And he follows it in. The pass and move. Thomas James unable to scoop that ball back to his left mid. Wonderful creativity. McDonald just dwelling on that a bit too long. And it's the freshman Darcy Madden sizing up the goal. Never looked entirely confident on his right foot. Dylan Mitchell taking it on the chest before getting play restarted. Chalakian. Back to Ferguson. Brendan Chalakian wide to Pandurovic. Two players in the middle. Pandurovic unable to get it past Price. Put this one on a loop. Attacking corner for Manly United against the Wolves. To their credit, Wollongong Wolves have defended them extremely well. The last one creating a bit of danger before being hit wide by Sam Gallagher. Parkhouse to the near post. Flick header from that man Gallagher again over the crossbar comfortably. Getting into the right positions is Sam Gallagher, the centre-back and number 5 for Manly United. Just unable to direct his header. In the goal and past Passfield. Passfield this time out from the back to Littler. Shank clearance finds Thomas James, who leaves it extremely well for Scott. Now Okada looking inside back for James, who was in space, but Sam Gallagher doing his number 1 job with aplomb. Okada swings the ball. Mitchell underneath it, gets a strong hand to get it outside the area. Littler. Thomas James swinging this one in. Paul with the outside of the foot finds Chalakian. Wouldn't be surprised to see a foul on Chalakian. Going to have a grab around the neck at the same time. Guy Knight committing that foul. Pandurovic unable to reach Parkhouse. Fair play, by the way, to the referee for letting that run. This time Thomas James in the back of Wilson. Just confirming it's Guy Knight grabbing Chalakian around the neck to bring him down. You could tell the instructions are clearly to stop Chalakian at any cost. At any cost, indeed. Wollongong fans want the ball out of play. That's not the rule. Only for a head injury. Will the referee stop the ball? Stop the play? And so the play continues. Wilson towards Pandurovic. Price getting there first. Now that ball's out of play. Žordovic can receive the attention he needs. He's clearly not doing well. Don't, of course, mean any ill wishes towards Nikola Žordovic. We hope he's okay. by the same measure. You need to follow the rules of the game. Referee under no obligation to stop this game for anything other than a head injury. As the trainer rushes out to Jordovic now. When play resumes, it will be another corner for Manly, with Jordovic unable to at least participate in this corner. Could be a good opportunity for the home side. They just wanted play to get resumed as quickly as possible. Chalakian, after being strangled, as I start to exaggerate. To his credit, he just got straight up and played that ball quickly. Now he stands over this corner. Chalakian. Well headed away though by the Wolves defence. McDonald, such a strong, tall player. Little grab from Ferguson means it will be a free kick. Jordovic back on the pitch, which is very good to see. The sun well and truly behind this main grandstand. The entire ground encased in shadow. Things are feeling rather gloomy if you are a Manly United fan. 2-0 down. As we get towards the end of this game, Passfield never really raising that goal kick an inch above the turf. Thomas James. Collected by Gallagher. It will be a free kick. Don't know what Gallagher's whinging about. Clearly collecting James on his way through. No prizes handed out if you've guessed who's standing over this free kick. Thomas James. If you could have asked him to place a 20-cent piece on the ground to take a free kick from, dare say he would have dropped it on this exact spot. Thomas James. Over the wall. Well handled. Dylan Mitchell didn't really have the complete pace or direction to get past the Manly United goalkeeper. Gallagher wants an option short, not finding one. Orchard. Chalakian. Maybe now we'll find a bit of space away from Knight, considering that man's on a yellow card. Defensive guy Knight. He's just doing his job. Bendurovic. With a bit of space. Finds Chalakian. Chalakian. Onto his left foot. Now Adam Parkhouse. Guess what? Corner, Manly United. Everyone back defending for the Wolves, bar Thomas James. Chalakian. Passfield punching it, going over the top. It's collected, I believe, Balderson. Balderson's up and going. Everyone paused for a moment, but as those two players rose to their feet, we resumed. Gallagher again hard in on Thomas James. Not particularly wise play. Thomas James not going anywhere with the football. All this means is that the Wolves can take their precious time taking this free kick. Indeed, it's Passfield, all the way up and out of his area. Want to make sure he gets some good distance and or height on this. He doesn't. He's now racing back to his box. McDonald, the ball over the top to Parkhouse. Passfield comes out to meet it before realizing he's never getting there. Well defended, though, by the Wolves. Another corner. So we see the final change being made. Wilson's going to be the sacrificial lamb. Nicolette Taneski coming onto the pitch.
Number 7, Sam Wilson. And he's been replaced by number 9, Nicola Taneski.
Wilson has had an excellent game. Not a lot he could have done for the goals. Meanwhile, attacking corner. Near post, flick header onto the woodwork. The second effort from McDonald goes over the crossbar. Manly United knocking on the door, but it's just not opening. Wollongong Wolves defence, including that frame, resolute. Orchard, straight back to his attacker Balderson. McDonald losing that battle against Scott. Scott just pumping it to Madden. Madden with a lot to do, never getting there. Littler reading it well. Chalakian off the shoulder perhaps. Manly to their credit, they're pushing. Balderson out wide to Pendurovic. Pendurovic with space. Balderson shaping for the exciting bicycle kick. Doesn't quite reach him. Might make for a good photo though. Unlucky from Paul. Got there ahead of James. Did come off his arm. Accidental with the correct decision. It's a free kick. Wollongong Wolves substitution now. Price coming off. I believe Will be the man to come onto the field.
Substitution for Wollongong Wolves coming off the field is number 7, Christopher Price. Replacement number 23, Liam Will.
Liam Will, indeed the man to come onto the pitch. What can he do in these closing stages? For now, it's still Manly United, who have had a lot of possession. Unable to do too much with it. Their best chances perhaps coming from set pieces. Wollongong with this throw on the far side. Darcy Madden. Back to McDonald. Now Okada. Finds Thomas James. Thomas James with his head up. He's probably going to come short to Okada. He wants to take his man on instead. Thomas James. Perfection from Wollongong Wolves. What can't this man do if he's not scoring them, he's providing them. His dinked ball onto the forehead of Lachlan Scott, who grabs his double. Wollongong Wolves are having a party here at Cromer Park. That makes it 3-0.
Goal Wollongong number 24, Lachlan Scott. Scores Wollongong Wolves 3, 99 0.
That goal, the sign for a few of these Manly United supporters to head for the exits. The straw that broke the camel's back. Parkhouse. Surging inside, holding off his man. Okada out to Thomas James. Continues to take on players even at this stage. Paul able to defend it. Dare say it's the game plan executed perfectly by Luke Wilkshire. Doesn't mind not having the possession as long as what he does have is effective possession. Happy to sit deep, absorb some pressure. And then when all the Manly backline are pushed up, or a lot of them, they've countered with pace, with trickery. with Thomas James. 1-2. Pendarovic and Chalakian. Chalakian taken out by Okada, who's not a malicious player. He does go into the book on this occasion. Adam Parkhouse standing over this free kick. I'm not sure who that's come off last. Evidently a Manly player, as it signalled a goal kick. 2 or 3 deflections, eventually popping over the crossbar once more. It's been that type of day for Manly. A few half chances, none of them able to be taken. Passfield, the latest to enter the book, might have a little whinge. That's not the first time he's been wasting time in the second half, Passfield. He is the 4th Wollongong Wolves player to receive a yellow card. Okada down the line, Thomas James, the flick doesn't quite have enough on it. There's been a few questions this week around Thomas James. Should he in fact be considered for higher honours? Is he looking at an A-League contract? Would of course take up a visa spot. From what we're seeing here, looks more than up to the challenge. Well, the Wolves will want to entertain such thoughts. They're the ones that have taken the gamble on him from Capital Football. With all due respect to that competition, is in the NPL New South Wales. He is getting big time noticed. Teneski winning that ball. Anywhere will do for Taylor McDonald. Lovely footwork from Wollongong to get it out of there. Ferguson applying the pressure on Darcy Madden and committing the foul. Is this performance perhaps a measure of Manly United's ability at this level? Able to get some wins against some very good teams so far this season. That 3-0 win against Sydney United last week. Hopefully, for their sake, not long forgotten. And yet, coming up against the quality, the supremacy of Wollongong Wolves. Is this a task just too much for them? Indeed, it has proven to be so today. Maybe come finals time, they'll get one more crack at it. Paul has a man inside. Plays it to him now. It's Ferguson. Ferguson on the left foot. Well blocked. McDonald sees Parkhouse over the top. Parkhouse getting there, maybe not believing he could control it. But does Parkhouse in fact even get there? Perhaps he's left it for another corner. Ball into the area. Still in there, Balderson. Tossie all over Balderson. Referee doesn't mind. And then the shot from distance from Ferguson over the top.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth official has indicated a minimum of 5 minutes at a time. It's 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Stoppage time signalled. Passfield will want to be careful here. He is already on a yellow card and realizes this, takes this goal kick a bit more quickly. James has Okada on his left. Plays it to Okada now. Taku Okada! Places it into the side netting. Thomas James has yet another assist. This time it's Okada's turn to get onto the score sheet. After picking up a double last week, he continues his run of goals and makes it an incredible 4-0 for Wollongong Wolves.
Wollongong to number 11, Takeru Okada. Scores Wollongong 4, Manly United 0.
The more Manly United have pressed, the more space it's meant for Wollongong to play into. Most of these goals rinse and repeat, and why not when you've got the individuals with the quality in their boots to pull off some of the passing, some of the finishing, and indeed when they have such good footballing brains, create that 4-on-4 opportunity, create that space for them to play into and create their magic. We've all seen what they can do. Adam Parkhouse. Straight down the throat of Passfield. Adam Parkhouse not been at his very best today. When you're playing Wollongong Wolves, every single member, not just of your starting 11, but indeed your squad, need to be pitch perfect. It's just not been that way today. Perhaps if one of their earlier half chances had have found the back of the net, could have been looking at a different match situation. And to Manly's credit, at no point have they ever given up. And yet, I say again, the more they have pushed, the more Wollongong have enjoyed the space provided to them. Adam Parkhouse. Inside Taneski, around the corner, back to Parkhouse! Passfield bats it away. It's fallen to the feet of Balderson. Balderson still going. Balderson eventually blocked well by Pentossi. Ball over the top. Unable to find Taneski. For manager Paul D, it's an amazing 7-goal turnaround for his side. Sitting here last week, saw his team win 3-0 over Sydney United. Now down 0-4 with not a lot changed personnel-wise. Does he go and start making some wholesale changes? Or does he just chalk this one off as an off night? Clean set of heels here. Don't tell me it's going to be 5. Crossfield ball to Okada. Okada won't get there. Paul running fastest. It is lovely to see the unselfishness of this Wollongong Wolves front line. Lachlan Scott, Thomas James, Okada. No doubt love scoring the goals, but more than happy to provide them too. If you've been watching along at home, I hope you've enjoyed yet another dose of Thomas James magic. After scoring the first goal for his side, he laid on 3 for his teammates, 2 for Lachlan Scott, 1 for Takaru Okada. And that created 4. The 4 goals being that final scoreline. Manly United humbled, but against great opposition. It does finish here at Cromer Park. Manly United 0, Wollongong Wolves 4.